Man, we just got hit with the hard news that Mike B was killed. Can you talk about Mike B, who he was, your guys' relationship?
Might be. It was always known, and it's so crazy that Might be was he was very close to Royce, Royce the 5'9". They might have been like family members. They might have been cousins. I don't
He
know
was
that
a part of MIC Records, right? When
exactly.
Royce.
Yeah, but he was back. He was one of Royce road dogs, and one thing, even and it's so crazy because even with when D12 and Royce was the beef or whatever, he wasn't around because he was more of a community man for music. He was a music community guy. Mike B he was around my age, and he was always moving the culture forward. He was either venues, restaurants. He would always be moving the culture forward. And he was a big guy. Mike B was like maybe 6'5", 6'6". And you always knew Mike B, when he was in the house, you knew he was in the house. And he didn't really talk a lot. He just really went to work, and he was a movement. He just was he was a great man, and he created the MIC records. And the crazy part, one of his first artists was Babyface Ray. And he had a label, and how he came through my business, door, how, he came in, and we sat down and did business because they needed their record company started with MIC Records, or not the Royce formation of it. He had another record company. I gotta correct that. Him and his partner had another record company, and helped form that. And so I was in the early parts of, because part of my company, I do label bills, like, to get their publishing, to get their copyrights, trademarks. That's one of the in my utility belts of things that I do. So he came to me with, me and him did business on that. And Babyface Ray was he was one of the first people who believed in Babyface Ray. And your fans who might, now Babyface Ray is like he's a very popular hip hop act out from Detroit, doing a lot of good things, making a lot of, he's streaming, he's successful. And Mike B seen some of him, like, man, 10 years ago. 10 or 12 years before it really went down. So Mike B has always been a pioneer in this market. And for him dying, man, him getting murdered, that was just such a shame, man. It's crazy how that, I mean, we're still in shock. We're still, as a city, because, I'm from Detroit. I live in Detroit. We're still God, it's like at this point they get a balloon drop for him. No, his balloon drop is tomorrow, but he still hasn't been buried yet, and it's just sad, man.
Do
It
they know
really.
what happened exactly?
No, it was basically he was at a venue. He has two restaurants, but he's an entrepreneur. He has two restaurants right now at the moment, and it wasn't at his restaurants. He was at a after hours spot. And when people say after hours, it wasn't like no seedy shit. It's a lot of after hours because you got to remember, we're a casino town. So we don't have those rules like other cities, because being a casino town, the hours is crazy. You got places that only close for 2 hours. You got places that they only close from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. and they're open. So that's like pretty norm um to have after hour. It wasn't like no city. The place is a official venue he was at. And he was walking outside, and gunfire erupted. And that's the only, and it's no suspects yet, or not that publicly known. Whoever killed him is still out in the streets right now. It's sad, man. And two other people were shot. He was the only one who unfortunately lost his life, but two other people were shot. And it's just sad how, a hip hop entrepreneur is gone now from our community. And he was a very powerful, person in this community.
for sure, man. Just it's unbelievable, you know.
Right.
Um, do do we know if like he was the innocent bystander or they actually was trying to target him? Does it look like that?
I would say the former because it's like he wasn't had no gun. He was just on the street, it was out on so yeah, I don't expect it wasn't, from what I know, it wasn't like no fight or nothing. It was like random gunfire. And the area it was in, keep it real, it's not a a very perfect area it was in, but we in Detroit, so I can't say like everything is, peaches and roses and everything is colorful and but it wasn't a great area he was in. Shit, I ain't even want to talk about me because I'm an anomaly. I've been in places where that could easily happen to me 500 times in my life, maybe even over 500 times. So I'm not. So it wasn't like the norm of when we start getting the info that that unfortunate thing happened. You know, that area is. I was like, oh man, it wasn't the best area, but that doesn't take a soul. And like I said, after hours is a thriving community here because we got casinos open 24/7, so that's not it wasn't out of the norm what happened, yeah, it was he lost his life, but it wasn't no craziness or nothing.
Right, man. Well, rest in peace to him, man. That's terrible. And prayers out to his family and everything. And I know Royce is taking it real hard right now, of course.
Oh man, it's yeah, that was his guy, man. That was his guy, and Royce is another guy that I want to give big props to. Royce, the transformation of Royce, and with age we've all have, because I think I've evolved, and I know Royce has evolved. Man, he's a beautiful brother. He do stuff for the community. He's always there. And when you say OG, he's the epitome of being an OG. He's level-headed, people like try to rattle him, he doesn't rattle. He just, move, he's such a beautiful brother. He's really, like and he takes on artists, he get him advice, and he's real with them. He lets them know like, "Hey, you're at this level, but bro, you're gonna need to go to this level." And I'm not trying to, put Royce biz out there, but Royce has like financially helped artists get to a certain level or, you know, or just like he invests. And sometimes it's not even about money. Most of the time it's not about money. It's giving them game and letting and sharing your wisdom with them on particular situations. So yeah, it's just sad, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I followed Royce's career probably as much as I followed M's career, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And like just to see the transformation from like the deaf is certain days during that very dark period of his career, and how he was really operating to like now is really night and day. Like as far as a person, the way that his whole aura, his energy, everything, right? And don't get me wrong, like Death is Certain is like one of my favorite albums ever, right? But it's like, damn, like he's like totally a different person now, like where he's like really tried to help people, like you can see it. He always is like way more patient with people and like really tries to take on that role of mentorship and helping people.
Wait a minute. Was that the one? I gotta get confused. Young man Hicks get confused. Is that the one with my friend on it?
Who?
No, Royce song, My Friend. Is that the song on there? Cause that's my favorite Royce song ever.
No, I think my friend appeared on Rock City, right?
Yeah, I think so. You're right.
Yeah, because Death is Certain is during the time when he was beefing with D12.
Um.
That's when he had the song Hip Hop produced by DJ Premier and stuff like that. I think yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. But My Friend is one of my favorites. That was
Yeah, that let me see, hold on. Let me uh yeah, that's off of Rock City is My Friend. Yeah.
right. Okay. Yeah, man. He's a motherfucker, yeah. And,
Yeah,
big
that's
shout out to Keno, his manager. I mean, Keno, that's my guy too. Big shout out. I see him. He made a major. He involved so well, and he's over like one of my nephew, like Nassan, he's over his career. He's managing Nassan. So man, it's just great.
Oh, he's Nassan's manager?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Wow. That's dope, man.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy. Wow, yeah. I remember meeting Keno one time, and I looked at him. I told him, I was like, because it was like during like the Slaughterhouse days, right? And I was like, man, it's been a long time coming, because like I know, like watching their career, like what they had to go through just to get to this point, right? You know. And he was like, yeah, man. So yeah. But shout out to him though. That's crazy.